For me, the most exciting thing about the SMS partnership is the ability to get those products onto the market as quickly as possible. You know, we sit in meetings, in listening trials over at Cyrus HQ, trying to make sure that the products sound as good as they possibly can. And sometimes between those sessions, we're having to wait for circuit boards to be redesigned, for them to go out to manufacturer, to come back, for us to then populate with components. All of that takes time. Having the ability to do it all in one place using their rapid prototyping facilities means we can launch products quicker than ever before. And for a business to stay relevant in today's market, that's absolutely essential.
Yeah, over the past two or 3 years, we've invested nearly £500,000 in our development centre, which is for rapid prototypes and quick turnarounds. We really see that as a key investment for SMS, also for our customers, so Cyrus can use that. They can have PCBs turned around in less than 5 days. Their R&D guys can come up, sit with our guys while it's going through the production line, have a look and really integrate with our engineers.
It's very rare for a specialist audio company such as Cyrus to have access to this level of mass production equipment. By keeping the manufacturing resource in the UK, it means that we as a design team can keep a much closer eye on it. So during the product development, product handover and long-term production support, we're on hand at every step of the way. Any problems we can quickly resolve. Having a rapid prototyping facility means we can get a product to market much faster than we previously could. This is more important than ever because even in the hi-fi industry, technology is moving so fast that products are obsolete within a few years. Right, so in front of us here we've got an inkjet printer and it's not quite like the inkjet printer you've got at home. This one prints solder paste onto PCBs. So the idea of this is when we get the blank PCBs made, we need to place components on them. And we've got to solder them. So this puts just the right amount of paste onto each pad so that it can be soldered accurately and reliably. Right, so this machine is a pick and place machine. And what this will do is it'll take our PCBs that we've already applied paste to and place the components on it. In the correct place. Now what makes this one special and slightly different to the ones in production is this will work off of small strips of components. So we can use sample sizes of components. If we're only making 5 or 6 boards, we can use very small strips. Whereas typically the production units, you need to buy a whole reel of 1,000 components or more.
Okay, so that's taking about 3 or 4 weeks and compressing it into a couple of days worth of prototyping, which is brilliant, isn't it? So we can cycle these things and test them really quickly.
Yes. So typically in production quantities, we have to design a thermal profile for that board because different components, different component densities and different boards all need a slightly different profile. That obviously takes time and takes a couple of goes to get right, which when you're doing a production build, no problem. When you want to build 5 boards, problem. So what this machine does is it uses a slightly different process and it'll heat the entire board up to just above the melting point of solder quite quickly so we can guarantee a good solder joint regardless of the component count.
Okay, so we'll get to production quality boards in small batches at the end of this whole process.
Correct.
And by then we'll have a really good idea of how these prototypes are going to translate over to the full production facility.
Correct.
Okay, so Kerry, I know this is a machine you're particularly excited about, so what is it?
Right, well this is an X-ray machine.
Okay.
And it's not quite the same type as at your hospital. This one's for PCBs.
Okay.
So what this will let us do is look at a PCB and look through the components and make sure everything's soldered and correct. So the big advantage of this is the trend on components is getting smaller and smaller, higher pin densities and different packages. We're going across to BGA chips.
BGA, those are the ones that are tiny,
they're absolutely
mini ones.
tiny with about 200 pins, none of which you can see because they're all underneath.
Okay.
Now this will let us know whether or not all of those 200 pins have soldered correctly.
Right, okay.
So it's really important to the design.
Okay, and you want to use more and more of those BGA and small components, presumably because that enables us to move further up the quality chain or pushes the boundaries of what we can design into our products.
Correct, it does. And now we've got the capabilities with SMS to use these parts and make sure they're reliable. It's a big plus.
So we can, fantastic. So we can move onwards and upwards and it opens up many more design avenues for you.
Correct.
Brilliant.